The last video is all about work. Let's start by talking about what work is, how we define it. Work is if I take a heavy object here at P and I drag that heavy object some distance over to Q. I can use the dot product to measure how much work is done to drag that object this amount of distance. And here's the dot product. Work is the dot product of the force that is applied to move the object times the distance the object was moved. So let's use this example right here of Taylor to show this. Taylor has a little red wagon. Let's draw her little red wagon right here. Here's Taylor. And she is going to exert a force of 10 pounds to pull her wagon a distance of 50 feet. So the starting point to the ending point is going to be 50 feet. Now we know the handle of the wagon makes a 30-degree angle with the horizontal. So that angle right there, the handle of the wagon, is a 30-degree angle. We want to know how much work Taylor did to pull the wagon. So we need to figure out vector F, the force that she did, and we can use component form to do this. We know that if the force is 10 pounds, then that's the magnitude of that vector. So we've got magnitude cosine the angle gives us our x component of the vector, and magnitude sine of the angle gives us the y component of the vector. Now let's find vector PQ. That is the distance she traveled. The first distance, it looks like she traveled 50 feet to the right. We know to the right is in the x direction. So 50 in the x direction. She did not travel any distance in the y direction, only 50 feet to the right. So here's our two vectors. If I want to find the amount of work that Taylor did, all I have to do is do the product of these two, or the dot product of these two vectors. So let's do that. I've got 10 cosine of 30 degrees times 50 plus 10 sine of 30 degrees times 0. And I can just put all that into my calculator to get about 433.013. Now you might ask, what units is work measured in? Work is measured in feet pounds. You can kind of think of it as how many pounds of work she did across how many feet of distance she traveled. So that is how much work Taylor did to pull her wagon. And we found that by doing the dot product of her force and the distance she traveled. So that is our last application today for dot product. We are officially done with vectors in chapter 7. And in chapter 8, we will dive a little bit into parametric equations.